In 1783, Elias Voss painted his magnum opus, Lady Eleanor Whitlock. A woman of impossible beauty, eyes like storm clouds, lips parted in a whisper. Critics called it timeless. They had no idea how right they were. The painting hung in Whitlock Manor for a century, untouched, unfaded, as if the oils themselves refused to age. Then in 1923, it vanished, along with the family. All that remained? A diary entry. She's alive in the frame, and she's hungry. Last month we found it, buried in a vault. No cracks, no rot. Lady Eleanor's smile still sharp enough to cut glass. But last night I heard it. A sound like skin stretching. And when I returned, her cheek had split. A hairline crack, jagged as a lightning bolt. Not in the paint. In her. Beneath the varnish, the canvas pulsed. Veins, roots. I leaned closer. And her eye twitched. I called the restorers. They laughed. Age cracks, they said, but when they x-rayed it, the layers weren't paint. They were skin. Human tissue, preserved, alive. And the frame, carved from bone. Whitlock family crests, in molars. Elias Voss's journals arrived this morning. Sealed since 1783. The first entry, I've made a trade. The shadow in the canvas grants immortality to the art, not the artist. Lady Eleanor pays the price. Her soul for my legacy. Now the cracks spread, not just on the painting, on me. My reflection splinters. My hands smell of linseed oil and rot. And when I sleep I hear her. Finish what he started, she whispers. Paint, paint, paint. By dawn, Lady Eleanor's beauty had curdled. Her ivory cheeks sagged like melted wax. Pearls dissolved into maggot clusters. And her lace collar? Frayed threads writhed like flayed skin. The restorers fled. The gallery director called it oxidation. But the x-rays told the truth. Beneath the paint, layers of muscle, fat, bone, human tissue, preserved in oils and desperation. And the frame's wood? Carved from femurs, Whitlock femurs. Elias Voss didn't just paint Lady Eleanor, he entombed her. The gallery archives confirmed it. 1790, a fire destroyed the painting. 1855, a flood erased it. 1923, a theft lost it. All lies. All the same night, September 12th, the night the cracks returned, the night someone vanished. Eleanor Whitlock, 1783. Her maid's diary. Lady refuses mirrors, claims her reflection rots. Henry Caldwell, 1790. His last letter, the portrait watches me sleep. Clara Voss, the artist's daughter. She wrote, Father's masterpiece hungers again. Last night, the cracks reached the frame. Black sludge oozed down the walls, and the smell, burnt hair, and formaldehyde. I followed it to the basement, to a crate labeled 1923. Inside, her gloves. Eleanor's gloves, still laced with maggots, still warm. The gallery director found me. Accidents happen, he said, but the show must go on. His breath reeked of rot. His eyes, pupils slit like paintbrush bristles. He pressed a key into my hand. Voss's studio, you'll understand. Then he vanished, like the others. The studio's address? 33 Nightingale Lane. The same street where Whitlock Manor stood, where the Caldwells burned, where Clara Voss drowned. And now, my street, my house. The cracks are here, in my walls, in my skin. The portrait's almost gone now, just a skeletal grin floating in rot. But the plaque remains, immortalized by E. Voss. And the dates, 1790, 1855, 1923, 2023. Every 33 years, a new artist, a new sacrifice. And I'm out of time. Elias Voss's journal arrived in a lead-lined box, dated 1790. Blood stained the lock. Inside, a confession. I made a pact. The shadow in the canvas grants eternal beauty. To the art, not the artist. A life for a lifetime. I paint them. It devours them. And I never age. He painted aristocrats, servants, even his daughter Clara. Each portrait a masterpiece, each masterpiece a tomb. Their souls fuel the shadow, he wrote. Their faces rot so mine stays young. And for decades, it worked. Voss remained untouched by time until 1923. His final entry, The Shadow Hungers for More. No longer satisfied with one soul every 33 years. It demands a family, a bloodline. The Whitlocks are gone. The Caldwell's ash, now it wants. Mine. The next page? Torn out, replaced by a self-portrait. The self-portrait wasn't painted, grown. Oils bubbled like pus, canvas pulsed like flesh, and his eyes, alive, staring into mine, whispering, "Finish it." The gallery director warned me, "Burn it." But his pupils, slit like paintbrush bristles, like Voss's. I followed the journal's clues to Whitlock Manor's ruins. Beneath the rubble, a studio, canvases stacked to the ceiling, all half-finished, all breathing. Clara Voss's portrait moaned, "Father lied. The shadow never stops. It's in the cracks, in the walls." Voss's last painting wasn't a self-portrait. It was a door. The shadow oozed through, veins spreading under Millerton, feeding on every soul who ever gazed at his art. And now, it feeds on me. My reflection cracks. My hands reek of oil and decay. I'm becoming his canvas. The journal's missing page arrived this morning. A single sentence, "The final stroke must be your own." And a date, September 12th, 2023. Tonight, the gallery director left a voicemail. He's coming, and he's bringing her back. The self-portrait's almost complete. Voss's face shifts, younger, older, mine, and in the frame, Eleanor Whitlock grins. Her maggots writhe into words, immortalized by E. Voss, 2023. The shadow's laughter echoes, "A life for a lifetime, yours." 3 days ago, I found the first crack, not on the painting, on me, a hairline fissure splitting my cheek. I told myself, dry skin, stress. But that night, the mirror lied. My reflection aged decades in seconds, skin sagging, eyes hollowing, just like Eleanor's portrait. And behind me, it watched. A shadow with too many joints, too many smiles. The gallery director warned me, the cracks are doors and it's coming through. I covered every mirror, smashed my phone screen, but the cracks spread, my wrists, my throat, oozing black sludge that reeks of linseed oil and rot. And the portrait? Eleanor's face is mine now, younger, smiling, hungry. Voss's journal explained it. The shadow mirrors its feast. The canvas decays, so the artist may live. But he lied. The artist doesn't live. They become the canvas. Clara Voss's final note. Father's reflection haunts the frame. He paints with our bones. I found her locket in the studio. Clara's portrait inside. Her eyes follow me. Her lips mouth. 33 years, a life for a lifetime. The gallery director's voicemail loops in my head. He's coming, and he's bringing her back. Her, Eleanor, me. The cracks aren't just on my skin. They're in the air, splitting reality. Voices spill through. Eleanor's screams. Clara's sobs. Voss's laughter. And the shadow. It hums que sera as it peels me apart. I tried to burn the self-portrait. Flames turned blue. The canvas shrieked. Voss's face melted into mine. Finish it, it hissed. A life for a lifetime. My hands move on their own now, painting, always painting. My face on Eleanor's. My blood is oil. The gallery opens tomorrow. Rediscovered masterpiece immortalized by E. Voss 2023. They'll admire my smile, my ageless beauty. They'll never see the cracks, the rot, the shadow grinning behind their eyes. Because tonight I become the warning. The key from the gallery director opened a door that wasn't there. 33 Nightingale Lane, Elias Voss's studio. Dust choked the air. Canvases towered like tombstones, and the smell, linseed oil and rot. But the worst part? They were all unfinished, faces, dozens of them, half-painted, half alive, skin peeling into brushstrokes, eyes rolling in hollow sockets. Clara Voss's portrait moaned, "Father lied, the shadow never stops. It's in the cracks, in the walls." Her mouth, sewn shut with horsehair, twitched. Voss's self-portrait hung in the corner, younger than his journals described, smiling, smug. His eyes tracked me, lips parted. She's hungry again. The gallery director's voicemail hissed from my pocket. He's coming, and he's bringing her back. The floor pulsed. Veins of black sludge snaked underfoot. I followed them to a hidden alcove. Whitlock family crests carved into the walls. Dates, 1790, 1855, 1923, and a fresh slot, 2023. Inside, my gloves, the ones I wore restoring Eleanor's portrait. Clara's journal fell from the rafters. Father's pact demands a bloodline. The shadow feeds on heirs. First the Whitlocks, then the Caldwells, now, us. My hands shook. My reflection in Voss's portrait cracked, Eleanor's face over mine. A life for a lifetime, she whispered. The studio walls breathed. Fingers pushed through the plaster. Whitlock bones, Caldwell teeth, Clara's hair, still tangled in paintbrushes. And the shadow? It wasn't in the canvases. It was the studio, the floor, the air. Me. Voss's self-portrait dripped onto my hands. Oils burrowed under my skin. Finish it, he hissed. A life for a lifetime. My brush moved on its own. Eleanor's face became mine. Young, ageless, rotting. The gallery director was right. I'm the feast. They'll hang it tomorrow. Rediscovered masterpiece, immortalized by Voss, 2023. Crowds will praise my smile, my timeless beauty. They'll never see the maggots, the cracks, the shadow grinning through my eyes. Because tonight, I become the canvas. It's too late. The cracks won't stop. My skin hardens, not scabs, but paint, thick, glossy, reeking of linseed oil and rot. The gallery director warned me. The shadow isn't in the canvas, it's in the cracks. Now I understand. The cracks are its veins. And I'm its heartbeat. My blood thickens to oils, crimson, sienna, black. It pools around Voss's self-portrait. His eyes blink. Thank you, he whispers. Not to me, to the shadow, because this was never my masterpiece. It's his, again. 1790, 1855, 1923, 2023. A life for a lifetime. A soul for a lie. The studio walls peel back. Whitlock bones, Caldwell teeth, Clara's hair, all woven into the frame. Clara's portrait moans, finish it. A life for a lifetime. My hand moves on its own. Eleanor's face becomes mine. Young, smiling, rotting, just like hers, just like theirs. My reflection splits, half in the mirror, half on the canvas. Voss's voice slithers from both. Immortality tastes sweetest when stolen. The gallery director was right. He didn't vanish in 1923. He became the shadow, and now, so do I. I tried to scream. Paint filled my throat. Tried to run. My legs fused to the easel. Clara's journal burns in my pocket. Father's curse is a spiral. No end, no escape. The studio breathes. The shadow hums. And the clock. The clock strikes 3:07. The final brushstroke isn't mine. The shadow guides my hand. A life for a lifetime, it croons. Your soul for his. Voss's portrait grins. Young, ageless, hungry. My face cracks. My eyes hollow. And the plaque updates itself. Immortalized by Voss, 2023. They'll hang me tomorrow. Admire my timeless beauty. Never see the rot, the maggots, the shadow leering through my smile. Clara whispers, welcome to the family. Voss laughs, a life for a lifetime. And the cracks spread. They hung it today. Lady Eleanor Whitlock, immortalized by Voss, 2023. Crowds gather, cameras flash. They praise my ageless beauty, my timeless smile. They don't see the maggots squirming under the varnish, the cracks spreading through my soul, the shadow. It grins through my eyes. I scream, but paint fills my lungs. I pound the canvas, but my fists melt into brushstrokes. Clara's voice whispers, a life for a lifetime. Voss's laughter booms. Immortality tastes sweeter stolen. And the gallery director? He winks, pupils slit like brush bristles. Masterpiece, he mouths. The plaque gleams, 2023. The clock strikes 3:07. Patrons lean closer, oblivious to the rot. Their reflections, their eyes blacken. The shadow hums que sera, sera. And in the cracks, I feel it, gnawing, hungry, always hungry. Because tonight it picks the next.